Hi there, Robin here from Expert On. Today we're going to be talking about this speaker right here. It's from Pyle. It's called a PADH15BTA. It's a mouthful because, well, the speaker's a mouthful. Besides having the 15-inch, the horn, the new cover, new case grill design, on the back side, they have loaded it up with all kinds of features. Some of them are pretty redundant and pretty much all up to you, but we're going to cover all that today. We're going to do a sound test on it. We're going to do an overview on it. We're going to test out the microphones. We're going to do all that on the table as well. So it's going to be a pretty fun-filled video. So stay tuned. The sound test portion is going to be coming up next. Here we are. We're all set up. We've got the speaker set up 24 feet away from the camera. We're going to do a little bit of sound checking on it. I'm going to try the microphone out for you. And because this is the big thing, I'm going to say this is probably a really great karaoke speaker. And it's loaded with bells and whistles on it. And for the price, that's pretty much where I would put it. Having a party in your backyard, that sort of thing, not bad speaker for that either. Outside of that, if you're a DJ or something like that and you're thinking, oh, no, don't buy this. This is not for you. This is for people who want a karaoke system and they want to have two microphone inputs directly in the back of the speaker and they want to have effects like repeat and time delay and echo, reverb, that kind of stuff. So that's what's going to happen. For now, we're going to play some, and then we'll go take a listen to the backside. Play something a little different. And here we go. We'll give the microphone a try, see how that works out. And we'll turn the music down by turning the line input down. And we'll turn the microphone's master volume back up. There we go. Now the unit does have effects, so I can turn that off. Turn the music all the way down so we focus on the mic. And there we go. So we can bring up the effects. You can hear that. We've got volume level controls. Like I said, when it comes to having a time repeat options on the effects, that's what this speaker is all about. So we'll definitely take a listen to that. So there we go. We'll just exaggerate everything to max and set that all the way. So that's what we're looking at. That's why you buy this, because you want a lot or a little or none at all. So from here, what we'll do is we will take it off to the actual table so we can look at the back side and see all the features back there. Alright, so here we are. We've got the speaker on the table now. Get a real good proportion of how big this thing is. It weighs a lot. Look down on the description down below. We'll have content for all the features and details and specs and everything we can possibly get on this speaker, all listed down below for you. Plus, if you want to check for current pricing, in the US, I don't know, somewhere between 2 and 3, in Canada between 3 and 4, sort of something like that. But we'll have details and links down below. For the speaker, they promote it as grill removable. Technically speaking, they're all removable. This one doesn't have any light indicator in the front, so it's easier to take the 6 screws off and take that grill off. And they put their nice name badge on the front, which is good. I'm going to pull off a couple of, I didn't know when, first or after, to talk about the negatives, but we're going to get to all the features in the back. But just remember, when you're buying a speaker at this price point, now people spend a lot of money buying this stuff. I mean, you buy it for yourself, you want to have something, it comes to your house and it gets there in good shape. So we ordered this one. This is our first one, so it was going to be our display and our testing one and the one to decide if we're going to keep carrying this. Scuff on the top. This is right out of the box, okay? Scuff there. We got a rub mark all the way down the side. The casing, though, nicer than the, it's no longer the jelly bean shape. It's a whole new look and style, after the Electro Voice or Altos or, Umakis. But defects in the product. I mean, I'll accept one because of the price point, but you know, I know they're hard to see, but there's 1, 2, 3, 4, there are 5. There's flaky spots in the actual finish of the product. And then it's like they had to do some sort of repair up here in the factory, and the color finish isn't the same between this portion of the product and this spot right here. So, not to mention a couple of big paw prints on the thing to boot. So, I mean, if this is supposed to be new, fresh out of the box, you know, that's too bad. So again, this side came out real nice. I mean, it's got the molding texture in it, but that's okay. I accept that. Like I said, easy enough. Handle placement's not too bad. Tapered on both sides. Handle on one side. Again, kind of following the Electro Voice ZLX models and stuff like that. Handle on top, handle on the side. No handle at the bottom and the back, which does make it a bit of a fuss to get it up because it is heavier by at least 10 pounds than probably what I would recommend to be their best product, which is PADH15BTA. We've also done a product review on that one, and if you're looking for just a straight up consumer product that you can just plug stuff in the back, that's pretty much a solid one there. Now, again, 15-inch driver, we can see everything's going on. Horn, we can see everything that's going on. Funny enough, not a big fan of seeing these inside because they're not as fancy as you think they would be. Doesn't matter what brand they are. All right, so we get to the backside. Get the glasses half empty portion done. Now, when we're doing the sound demo, one thing that I do notice, and again, this is just one of the last pieces of harping. Okay, there'll be more. I'll be harping on most of this. Let's first say I do like Pyle as a brand, but it's kind of like finding the diamond in the rough. This is a company with like over 1,000 SKUs. Not all of them are great, but some of them are pretty awesome for what you pay for. So I was really trying to figure out if that's what we were seeing here. Now, I do like the overall back-end display. Now, one thing, I don't think there's enough dampening inside of here, or the material's not really, the acoustics coming out of this chamber is really muddy rattly. Like, I mean, from the back. You don't really notice it from the front. Now, if you've got a really good tuned ear and you know these things, especially if you're playing an instrument, you'll hear it more predominantly. But if you're using this speaker specifically for what I think it should be used, and that's karaoke, it's an awesome speaker. So let's talk about now the awesomeness of what makes the speaker special. It's what's going on up here. Specifically, I like this portion of it here and the Bluetooth, which is now 4.0. Now remember, if you have a digital smart TV and it has Bluetooth on it, you can just search, turn this Bluetooth feature on here so it's blinking, and then search on your TV. You're going to find Pyle USA, which represents the speaker, and that makes your life a lot easier. So you use YouTube or whatever you want for your karaoke on your TV. Have this, get yourself some microphones, corded or wireless, your choice. They do give you two great full-featured XLR 1/4-inch inputs for microphones. Now, they give you two separate knobs. The first set of knobs, which are red, are for your effects level. That's your repeat and time on your reverb, your echo feature on it. Now, second one is your line level. They do that twice, once across top, once across the bottom. And then to allow you to even be pickier about your effects, they give you adjustments. So this way you can adjust your time and your repeats. So this way you can get your echo just the way you like to have it. And then they give you a level of control as well. So now this level control and the master level control, which is right next to it, work hand in hand. Get everybody adjusted the way you want them to have their echo, and then just turn up this proportionally. So I want to have, if I'm running the volume at 50%, and I want half of that sound-wise, so I want 25% worth of echo in the background, I just set that knob straight up as well. This is proportionate to that. So if I had 100% volume and I left the knob for the effects at 50%, I would have 50% effects to that volume. So that's how it's always proportionate to the knob next to it. Now, they do give you a line input and an MP3 button here, which we use to toggle between everything that's going on up here and what's going on down here. It even has a line out on it as well. So again, all good features. Now, hiding off to the side is a 5-band EQ. Now, it's a little redundant if you're only using it as something to pair off to with your Bluetooth for parties, or something for, let's say, the radio or the MP3 player. Because up on top we have 5 or 6 DSP, digital sound processors, EQ'd built right into it. And nice thing is full display with a lot more text, so a lot better than a lot of the other consumer products that you're going to see. So we've got, you know, a pop, and it tells me pop, shows me the EQ setting. Then it's got rock, and then it's got jazz, and then it's got classical and country, and then music, which is flat. So music's flat, and it doesn't able or disable this. It runs on top of it. So if I put one on rock, which has got, like, you know, its own curve, and then I play around with this EQ, it's gonna be multiplied. So if I'm doing karaoke, I'm gonna probably want to have it in music mode, or I'm gonna be, you know, and then I'm going to use the EQ down here. If not, you got to remember you got to leave one flat and the other one adjusted, or vice versa. This way not to overclock the speaker too much. Now, that being said, from the front side, it sounded pretty good, like I said. From the back side, there was a lot of vibration coming through here, and it really affected how it sounded from the back of the speaker, more so than I normally would hear on some of the commercial brands. But remember how I said that, the commercial brands, because the consumer brands tend to do resonate more noise. The boxes are not engineered against the driver, so as they add more power to the front, it doesn't necessarily mean that this might be the perfect box or it has the perfect amount of dampening in it. It just looks really good. So that's the big drawback. Doesn't mean you can't turn it up. It just means you got, you know, like I said, ignore the noise from the back because you're not really going to hear it from the front. Outside of that, one quirky little thing, again, this is just one of these little things that you know somebody's going to ask, and if I was selling them here, you know, people would call me up and ask me this question, is my volume on my phone's not very loud. So we normally are fighting the master volume, maybe a line volume like here, which is part of what's going on there, and then our phone. So if our volume is down on our phone, but up here and here, our volume is going to be down. If it's down here, but up on our phone and up on the master, I mean, these combinations get pretty good. But they decided to add one more into that. So there was a digital volume that I never usually talk about because it's really hard to activate and it's kind of just on the remote, but they gave a knob. So people are going to play with this knob. And that's what's up here. Now, this knob basically serves multiple functions. Actually, one of those functions I'm just noticing here for the first time myself. But it's digital volume. So take my phone. I have to remember to turn my phone up basically 90% volume. Then I have to remember to make this somewhere either at 0 or close to 0 dB, maybe a little bit more. It's up to you. But I have to remember to have that knob set. If it's turned down, I'm not going to hear my phone. Then I have to make sure that I push the line input button to make sure that it's facing out. So, sorry, that it's in, actually, my apologies, in, so it's part of the MP3 player. So now we're listening to what's going on up here. Then I have to decide how loud I want that line input. Now, I mean, this is all redundant. And then I've got my master volume over here. So it's an awful lot of steps to just play music on your phone. If you're going to do that, the best case scenario is, I'm not using it for karaoke, I just want to play music on it. I'm going to start with having my master volume off. I'll turn my line volume all the way, make sure that I'm pushed in on the button, so this way I get my MP3. I'm going to come up here and make sure this is hovering basically around 0 dB, so I'm not taking away or adding 2. And then I'm going to make sure and turn up the volume to 90%. There you go. You leave your EQ settings at flat, and then choose a DSP setting that you like, simply by picking the one on the name by pressing the display menu. That's probably the best way to do that. Now, where does this change? Now, karaoke. So now I'm doing karaoke. What do I want to do? I want my DSP setting up here to be on music, which would then be flat. Making sure I'm paired off. Take my line volume, set that at 50%. Then I want to adjust my microphone levels, because I've plugged microphones into it, just like so. There we go, and we're going to turn this up a little bit more just to make sure we're there and we're on, and we are on. Okay. Sorry, that's a line input. So these are not combo jacks. This particular system is set up so that the 1/4 inch is aligned. So if your mic has a 1/4 inch jack, get a new cable or an adapter. Take your XLR cable connection from your microphone, plug that directly in. So the mics do have to be XLR. I've just noticed that. That's a rare feature on a speaker. Standard on a mixer, but rare on a speaker. Now I can go ahead and turn that up. Now we'll notice how easily that was to bring up the volume. So now we would adjust the EQ to get the best sound performance out of my voice, that sort of thing, what I'm looking for as somebody using karaoke. And then I'm going to adjust the effects. And simply by choosing where I want those effects to be, and again, I'm going to exaggerate it so we have it on here. And then we're going to be set. All we have left to do is balance the actual music now to the actual microphones. And how to do that? We've got both our mic inputs and our line inputs all at 12 o'clock. Then we're either going to dial one up a little bit or dial one back a little bit. So I want a little less microphone, dial that back. I want a little more music, dial that up. And you should end up with a nice mix. Now remember, we had the top set at music. We had our microphones set at 12 o'clock. Our master volume input was only at 25%, so we can do some testing. We're going to now start adjusting our sound with the equalizer, and we'll be all set. So there you go. That pretty much covers it all for this speaker. But like I said, lots of features, lots of great features, especially if you want to use it for karaoke. I could have used a wireless microphone on it, or we could use the cordless microphone. Again, Bluetooth from the TV would be great. You could end up getting an optical to analog converter. That's a digital analog converter. You can use that through the RCA cables off of a TV if need be. But overall, good package for the price. I just would have wished that maybe if it was $20 more expensive, they could have added, dampening inside of it. They could have added a better liner on the front, made sure that the factory did a better job packing it. I mean, these little things. But outside of that, take all that away from the front side, sounds pretty good. But again, karaoke speaker, pretty loud, pretty awesome, nice to work with. 2 line inputs, 4 microphones, plus all the actual effects. That's our takeaway on this speaker here. So there you go. I'm going to leave it. I hope it didn't sound like I bashed it too much, but I wanted to be fair and honest about what we are talking about here. So there you go. If Pyle decides they want to send me another speaker, they're more than welcome to. Like I said, don't be too surprised if it comes with a couple little dings on it. Again, at the price point, if you feel comfortable spending your money on it, I'd rather spend my money on a name brand like Pyle than on a generic no-name brand. Pyle's got huge. I'd also probably, and I'm not plugging this for Amazon or anything like that, I'd buy it from somewhere like Amazon or like a Walmart or somewhere big like that, where if I have a problem, I can just go back and exchange it, no problem, or send it back to Amazon, no problem. Say I want a replacement, mine arrived damaged, they'll take care of that for you. Anyways, there you go. We'll see you on the next video. Remember to subscribe if you haven't yet, and if you have, thank you very much. I always like saying that. That's very important. Plus, at this point, that palm tree's the subscribe button, and then you've got some video options. Maybe you got to go do something else. Maybe you want to watch another video. Maybe, who knows? You decide. Thank you very much. We'll see you on the next video. Bye now.